Will those trucks stop making all that noise? Wait a minute. Oh, it's Christmas! Oh my god, it's Christmas! That's why they're making all that noise! It's to wake everyone up because it's Christmas! Oh, what? Oh my god! This has to be a new video game. I mean, I played every single game I wanted to play this year, but oh man, I must have been so good they gave me GTA 6 early. Oh, I cannot wait. This is going to be so exciting. I'm going to be the first person ever to play GTA 6 and... Yeah, hi, Santa Claus. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, but, I was wondering, I appreciate the gift and all, but you know what would make this Christmas even more jolly? If you came over and exchanged this for a lump of coal, because I would much rather have that instead. Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. I don't want to review this. I mean, it's been 6 months. Is anyone really gonna watch my review of this? Like, not many people even watch my game reviews, but is anyone gonna care? Well, it's a negative review, so usually those are usually the ones that get the most views. But anyways, this time, I'm gonna be reviewing MindsEye. Lecter, you do not want to sit by me when I talk about this. My mind's already messing up because, yeah, I played through this, and I did not know how I was able to survive, but I did. So you're probably wondering, why did I buy this? Well, I held off for it for so long, and the fact is that nobody has been playing this game, because it was a disaster at launch, and it pretty much just... People were confused when this game was announced, like what exactly this was supposed to be, and when it actually came out, it was way worse than it had every right to be. But I was out Black Friday shopping, and the stores were pretty scarce when it came to physical media. However, I ran into GameStop and saw a nice fresh copy, which being this copy, right there on the shelf for $10. Yeah. And originally the price dropped down from $60 to $35, but the fact that it was there on the shelf for $10, I was all like, what the hell? What the hell? I need some form of bad game to come out this year that I need to add into my library of games that I've been reviewing, because I haven't done a single bad game review this year at all. Well, this is going to be it. So get ready, guys. I'm taking a look at this game and why almost nothing about it works, even 6 months after launch. So in this game, you step into the role of Jacob Diaz, a former soldier with a mysterious neural implant and fractured memories. As Jacob, you'll navigate missions, restore fragmented memories of your past, and uncover a conspiracy involving rogue AI, corporate greed, and unchecked military power in a cinematic, story-driven action-adventure thriller. Though there are no thrills to be had in this game, and there's nothing too heavy when it comes to its story, even when it tries to. Now, the story on its own actually seems like a unique idea, and it's not the worst story that I've seen from a video game. It does try its best. Too bad the writing's so poor that it pretty much takes away everything that the game's trying to go for in terms of its storyline. But hey, I will say the acting and the voice acting, they're pretty solid. And when it comes to the cinematics, the facial expressions, they're top notch. And with all that being said, that's all the nice things I have to say about this game, because wow, what a chore this was. And sure, I played this during a time where the game was patched, but even then, the game feels even more boring, because now I have absolutely nothing to laugh at while I'm just going through this thing for at least 12 hours. And don't let this world fool you. It may look open world, but it's not. This game tries to be like a cybernetic GTA while we wait for the actual GTA 6 to come out in the year 2045 or whatever. Who knows if the world's even going to be alive by then. But whatever. The fact is, it tries so hard with trying to make you feel like you're in an open world setting, with the fact that you have to go from one area to the next throughout this world. But the fact is, it's not an open world game. There's nothing to interact with. There are no mini games to play. I mean, there are, just not in the open world. You can't go to bars. You can't go to bowling alleys or whatever. You cannot explore this world. If you go from one area to another area outside of the mission, you're going to get a fail screen. And prepare yourself, you're going to be seeing fail screens a lot throughout this game for some of the stupidest things. Like when you're in your drone, yes, you're going to be flying drones throughout this game. You can either fly too high and get a fail screen, fly too low, you get a fail screen. That didn't really happen to me, but it happened throughout a lot of other people's gameplay and stuff. Oh man, let me talk about the gameplay itself. It is very tedious. You're going to be shooting a lot, and there's no melee combat whatsoever. The three main things you're going to be doing is shooting, driving, and flying drones. That's all you do throughout this game. Occasionally, you'll get into a car and chase after someone or try to avoid someone else. And it doesn't seem like it wants to change whatsoever. It just wants to be as repetitive as it possibly can to get its story out. Now, yes, there are a few side activities you can do, or at least side missions, because they are very generic and they don't provide a whole lot to the story. You go through a portal and you do whatever the game tells you to do, and then the story ends. And for some reason, it's ranked based on how many people can get past it the quickest. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to all that because I didn't even bother doing a lot of there isn't even a whole lot of them. There's as far as I know, there was 4 portals total, and I just completely ignored them because I just wanted to get through this game. Because, oh man, let me tell you, the writing is so piss poor that it doesn't matter if the actors try their best. It doesn't hide the fact that the writing, when it comes to the story or the comedic lines of dialogue, it was absolutely atrocious, that you could have sworn ChatGPT was behind it, because, man, is it bad. And I don't remember any of the characters' names. The only character I know of is Rigby. But that's because it reminds me of another Rigby, and if it was that Rigby, the game would be much more bearable to get through. In fact, here, let me demonstrate.
Oh, shit! Rigby! My drone's been hit! Stop talking!
Yeah, that was really all I could really think about when hearing that character's name. But even the main lead himself, while he tries to be the most interesting aspect, and the fact is, he has some sort of power in his mind, hence the term MindsEye, they don't use that in a way where gameplay feels fresh. All you do is just hit down your button to know exactly where enemies are. And even your drone isn't very helpful either. There was one part where you have to, or multiple different parts where you have to attack enemies using missiles because there are no turrets in the drones whatsoever. And there was this one part with the drones towards the end of the game where I had to fly it all the way across to one area to another. And then when I landed it, I instantly got game over because it killed me. That's right. I landed on the ground, and once I got out of it, I got a game over, which I don't know why, because I thought that was something I was supposed to do, which it is. But the worst thing about it was the checkpoint was before you even got into the drone. So it took me 5 minutes to get over there. Then it sent me back, and then I had to go 5 minutes into the drone to land it. Seriously, the logic behind this game's game over mechanics makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. That it is going to drive you absolutely mad. Does this game have a fetish for game over screens? Well, I can definitely tell you this. They have a fetish for mobs of enemies coming at you or shooting at you, because sometimes it feels like you're going from one location to the next, but enemies are shooting at you. You don't know if you're supposed to be shooting the enemies or if you're supposed to be going to the next area, because it just goes all over the place, and the combat's not even that hard. Yes, I have it on the easiest difficulty, but nothing really changes with the combat. There are no skill points, there are no RPG elements, there are no, creative uses of gameplay. You just shoot, occasionally get in a car, occasionally fly in your drone. There's nothing creative, and you're not even going to run out of ammo because your pistol never runs out of ammo. And also, all your weapons, while it feels like, you're about to lose ammo, you have so many guns which never change. You can't swap them out for better gear. You can't customize them whatsoever. It just ties to the fact that why are you trying to make a game like this? Like, make it feel open, but the world's not actually open, and add gameplay that would make it feel like, it would have some sort of skill tree system, but there's no skill tree system or ways of changing the gameplay up. Donkey Kong Bonanza had a skill tree system, and throughout that game, you're going to be collecting bananas. I know, this game, it made me insane. It made me feel absolutely maddening because I was just trying to get past some of the tedious sections I've ever had to deal with in a game like this. Even the shooting mechanics, they felt so poor from time to time. Yes, you can auto aim, but even the auto aim sucks. Oftentimes when I'm like in cover, sometimes it reminded me of Ride to Hell. Ride to Hell. If this were like the cybernetic sequel to that, which I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is. Granted, this has better graphics, but even the graphics, it runs entirely at 30 FPS. You can't change it whatsoever in the menu. Like, it's always going to be stuck at 30 FPS. It doesn't matter if they patch the game out. It doesn't matter if they try fixing the textures. It's always going to run at 30 FPS. And even still, the texture pop-ins are absolutely annoying. I still got those quite a bit throughout the game, and it didn't make the game any less like pleasing to look at, because it really didn't. The AI is so brain dead and so stupid that it only really works when it feels like it wants to work. And even then, it's still a chore to get through. From the gameplay itself to the amount of times you're going to be failing constantly, but I can tell you the best part about this game was when I got to the credits. And I did not even care that the ending sucked, because it sucked hard. There's not even a final boss. I was just so relieved that I was done with the game and I could move on with my life. Because games like this, you have absolutely no idea where they came from. And it's not like Clair Obscur, where that game came out of absolutely nowhere but turned out to be absolutely amazing. This game just, it felt like it was just dunked out so people could have time to, immerse themselves in something that's similar to GTA while they wait for GTA 6. But this isn't GTA. Again, it feels like, a watered down version of that, with no exploration, lacking of content, lacking of good characters or dialogue. You can't really do anything but, follow the game's rules, because it is so strict on what exactly you're supposed to do. Oh, and to top it all off, when it does come to mini games that it adds in, get this, okay? There's literally a mini game involving CPR. That's right, there's literally a mini game where you give someone CPR, which only happens one time, and there's another one that's similar to that, where the game makes you dig a hole. That's right, there's literally a mini game section where you dig a hole. Like, when did this turn into the movie Holes? Or what just... You gotta ask yourself, like, this is a perfect example on why AAA gaming just has been struggling a lot. It just feels like there was absolutely no effort, and it honestly feels like an AI-generated game. Hell, AI is involved with the story, so that would make a lot of sense. So it doesn't matter if they've been patching the game out. The damage had been done because of how boring the actual gameplay is. I wish I played this game at launch, because I would probably be able to laugh at it more because of how unbearable it is to get through, but at least have some funny glitches here and there. But the fact is, I'm playing this 6 months after launch, because it doesn't matter if it's been patched up. It makes it even more boring, and the fact that, there's nothing really to comment on when it does come to that. So, I know, it sounds like, I would have preferred if it had glitches, but... It would make for, a much more entertaining time, but now the game is just even more of a slog to get through. And it doesn't hide the fact that even when it comes to the controls, not only are the controls for the aiming and shooting bad, but even the driving mechanics. They feel slippery like you're on a skating rink, and they can get damaged so easily. Like, there's not even a health bar. The least you could do is add in a health bar for how much damage your vehicle can take. Because sometimes they'll blow up out of absolutely nowhere, and, I mean, you'll know that they took too much damage, but it was just so maddening. And the drone sequences are probably the worst part. Yes, they do have their own skills, like you can unlock a door, and you can you can get someone brainwashed and helping you, but even then, it's still a slog to get through. Probably the worst part of this game was probably the stealth missions. Well, stealth missions. There was only one stealth mission, but it felt so painful. Like, I swear, I hate it when games like this, or non-stealth games add in stealth games such as this, has by far one of the worst. Because sometimes, even when you're out of an area where you know you're safe, some of the robots that you're trying to be hiding from will turn around and spot you instantly, giving you an instant game over. Like, it's like this game loves unleashing its powerful, like, dramatic fail screen thing. I don't know. This game is just... I've been playing so many good games this year, but the fact is, I had to spend $10 on this thing. It made me absolutely mad, and I'm just glad that I was able to finish it, because MindsEye is just as bad as you've been hearing it. It's one of the most painful open world games you can play, because again, it's not an open world game. It looks like one, but again, it just begs the question. There's nothing to do when it comes to interacting with things in the world. All you do is just go from one area to the next. Gameplay never changes. The scope of the world doesn't even try to be interesting. It's just a bland cybernetic world that exists because games like this need a world. And there are practically almost no redeeming qualities aside from some decent performances and facial animations here and there, but nonetheless, it's still a very painful game to get into. It tries adding elements that you would see in other games like stealth, and even puzzle solutions. Like, there was this one crystal puzzle, which I understood a lot more once I got into it, but it was still very tedious. It's like it's trying to find ways to pad out to make it feel a bit longer, but ultimately fails at trying to be a game to feel remotely inventive whatsoever. MindsEye is an absolute disaster, and I just could not take it. And again, after finishing it, I felt like I accomplished absolutely nothing, but I could have given that $10 to the Salvation Army, but instead I wasted it on this. Oh, and during that stealth mission part thing, I got so mad that I actually broke the case a little, like the piece that, I glued it back on, so the game was lucky enough that I cared enough to want to fix it. Because, yeah, but MindsEye exists because I don't know why. It literally feels like an AI generated game that doesn't know how to make its story feel more interesting or make gameplay feel actually fun. It's a chore to get through. It is tedious as hell. None of the characters were interesting, and it leads up to a very bland and ultimately awful climax. But by the end of it, I'm just glad that I'm done with it. But I have no idea if my mind will recover from it whatsoever. You're probably wondering why it's not even lower. Other than a few of those things that I brought up, I definitely have played worse. It's a terrible game, but again, this isn't like Gollum bad, where that game just has no use of gameplay whatsoever, or Balan Wonderworld, where it tries to look as beautiful as it possibly can, but ultimately just fails at even trying to have good gameplay whatsoever. So, I have played worse games, but this is still a pile of garbage. And I wouldn't be surprised if this started a new franchise, but ultimately, with how poorly it's been received, we're probably not going to get that. I'm sorry. This game kind of broke me a little bit. But hey, the fact is, I talked about it. I know it's probably all passé by now in terms of, when the game launched, but nothing has been redeemed. So, yeah, but anyways, I'm going to stop talking about it. The best games of 2025 list is going to be coming out very soon, so look forward to that. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Word out. What a way to ruin someone's Christmas. Well, I can always play another game, or better yet, watch a Christmas classic like It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, Not Christmas with the Cranks, and... another gift! This should definitely make up for what I just have to witness. I'm just gonna go play Expedition 33 again.